Welcome back. I love how our guest today describes his music. He says, imagine Nirvana and the Beatles had a kid together who became an acoustic rock singer-songwriter. Well, meet Bryan Bielanski. Bryan, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Megan. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Absolutely, and I love that description. And also, I know you had some other inspirational groups. How did you start your musical journey?
Well, my parents were big music fans, so I've been listening to rock records since I was a little baby in the crib, so it's just been part of my life from the very beginning.
Part of it. And how, well, I sort of just described your style, I guess, but when people ask you about your music, how do you describe it to them?
Yeah, it's kind of retro rock with just a little bit of twist of, modern energy in there.
I love it. And you just played in Pascagoula over the weekend?
Right, at Celtic Irish Pub in Pascagoula.
How did that go?
Oh, it went great. It's one of my regular tour stops. It was about the fifth time I performed there, so
That's great.
It was a great time.
And you mentioned it's one of your tour stops. Bryan, you have been everywhere. You've performed in quite a few places. How long have you been doing this, and what is it that you love about taking your music to others?
Well, I started performing full-time in 2012, and I just love, going from place to place, meeting different people, seeing the same people over and over again. It's great. There's no feeling like it, and just spreading a little joy through music.
And it's not only here in the States you've played, although you've played almost every state in America. You've played 48 states?
48, that's right.
And where in the world have you traveled as well?
Oh, I've played Europe, Asia, and some places in Central America as well.
So he's well-traveled. I love it. And as far as performing, what is it when you're on stage and your music brings a smile to someone's face? I mean, what is it that you most enjoy about your passion for music?
And I think you just said it best right there. It's just, trying to brighten people's days. Sometimes you'll see people that don't have a smile on their face when they come into a place, but they leave with one on their face. So. And
where do you turn for inspiration for your songs? Because you write your own music, right?
Right. Well, most of my songs are about traveling around playing music, because it's and I'll often write the songs in my head when I'm driving from city to city, and then figure them out when I get to the show, and that's how I write my songs. Yeah.
Well, maybe a rainy morning in South Mississippi at WXXV will find its way somewhere in a song one of these days.
Indeed.
It's been an adventure for us this morning with all of the rainfall that we've been monitoring.
A lot of rain.
And you have a show in Mobile tonight we want to let people know about.
That's right, yep, Satori Coffee House tonight in Mobile, Alabama.
Doors open at 9 o'clock for that. Here's some information. If you want to check him out, Bryan Bielanski will be playing in Mobile, but guess what? Before he plays Mobile, he has been so gracious to agree to give us just a little snippet of some of his talent. So if you don't mind, we're going to allow you, Bryan, to just play us to break. We appreciate having you.
Well, thank you, Megan. Here's Rock the Library USA. Honey, I know what you need. I like to write and you like to read. I really like the way you look. Are you gonna check out my library book? 'Cause I'm your host with the most rockin' libraries, coast to coast on I-10, I-20, I-30, 40.